CNA handbook recommends so many movement joints when in reality you very rarely see these on the majority of installations.
Okay, let me stand up here and explain this as clear as possible. Yes. Are we on? You can hear me? Okay. One of the things that we as tile contractors make a mistake in doing is oftentimes having to take the responsibility on ourselves when that responsibility actually rests on the design professional. So who specified the tile and who actually designed the installation? From a contractor's point of view, that's typically the architectural community. So in our handbook, right below where we're listing the installation of movement joints, it's called EJ 171, right below that heading there's a small rectangular box that says that the architect, the design professional, the general contractor, one of these people are responsible for showing the locations on the drawings. Now, very rarely does that happen. Oftentimes, after we've got the job, we bid the job, we've got it, we will have to send an RFI for that information. And sometimes they'll send back that information saying, well, where do you want them? It's like, wait a minute, I did not design your building, and I need to honor your existing movement accommodations. So you tell me, the tile contractor, where to put them. Now, what do we do when we're dealing with a job that has no apparent design professional, architect or general contractor? Let's say it's a remodel on a home of some sort, and we can't actually get in touch with this design professional. So we do have that listed under EJ 171 that for every 20 to 25 feet, movement accommodation is needed. Now, it doesn't say every 20, it doesn't say every 25, it says 20 to 25. So it's not a hard number that's absolute, that you actually have to have one at that number. It's between those numbers at the best possible location. Oftentimes, if it's an exterior application, it'll be every 8 to 12 feet movement accommodation. That's a very important part of our book, and it's needed because tile does expand and contract, changes with temperature. It also expands and contracts due to moisture. On an exterior application or in a wet area, even like in a commercial kitchen where you have a lot of water that's been from sink water and that sort of thing that's been coming in contact with the tile, that will actually make the tile grow. Now, it's a slow growth, but the tile will actually get larger over a period of time when it's subjected to wet areas. So without expansion joints, you can expect tinting. Tinting meaning the tile buckles. So some way for it to expand ever slightly, so slightly, it doesn't take much. As a matter of fact, the numbers that's in our book are safe numbers, ranging from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, depending on what you're tiling to. Something that causes a lot of problems nowadays is tiling up to hardwood installations, where the actual hardwood, true wood flooring, and tiling into a perpendicular installation with the wood strips being perpendicular to the tile. With something like that wood expands and contracts much more than our tile does, but a lot of failures happen if that is abutted. In other words, no movement accommodation between the two materials. We use safe numbers saying that we need to allow for the thickness of that wood distance back. So the wood is typically 3/4 of an inch thick. We need to stop the tile installation 3/4 of an inch back from that wood. Now, if it's running parallel with the tile installation, with the wood strips or along with it, usually about half the thickness of that wood, typically 3/8 of an inch. And there are movement accommodation strips available to make that pleasing to the eye. That can be installed, typically a slip plate of design that can actually be installed over that, that allows that wood to expand and contract independent of our tile, and that'll make a big difference in your installations and prevent the tinting problems. We do see a lot of that tinting problem, and almost in all cases, there's no movement accommodation. Always have a perimeter movement accommodation, so never tile tight to dissimilar surfaces and changes in planes. Leave a movement joint. And then every 20 to 25 feet in a dry area, interior, exterior, every 8 to 12 feet. If it happens to be an interior installation that's subjected to direct sunlight, treat it as though it was exterior, every 8 to 12 feet. So a sunroom added to a house with all the glass, might want to reconsider making that one as though it was exterior, every 8 to 12 feet. Car dealership showrooms, we've seen a lot of those with all the glass exposed to the sun, and to show off all the cars, of course, but treat that as though it was exterior as well, every 8 to 12 feet. I hope that answered the question.
All right.